Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are playing medical detectives to uncover the surprising truth behind a hidden epidemic, one that just might be the culprit behind your unexplained health issues. We're diving into clinical data from the Endocrine Center and official practice guidelines from the Endocrine Society to totally demystify a condition that's affecting millions of us right now. Here's a quick look at our roadmap for today. 1. Unexpected signs of deficiency. 2. Understanding the sunshine hormone. 3. The causes of deficiency. 4. Getting the right test. And finally, 5. Prevention and treatment guidelines. Okay, let's jump right into part 1, unexpected signs of deficiency. So think about this for a second. Why are you always tired? If you're constantly struggling to get through the day, no matter how much sleep you get, it might not just be your crazy schedule. You could actually be dealing with a really sneaky biological culprit. Your cells literally require this specific key element just to produce energy. And when your tank is empty, well, that deep, unshakable fatigue starts creeping in. Now take a look at this rapid-fire lineup of unexpected signs straight from the Endocrine Center. We're not just talking about weak bones here. We're talking about severe deficiencies contributing to things like alopecia, which is an autoimmune condition causing patchy hair loss, and even slow wound healing. It can actually hinder your calcium absorption so much that it leads to dental cavities and periodontitis. I mean, it wreaks havoc across your entire system. It wrecks your immune response to the common cold, elevates your blood pressure, and can even drag down your mood, simply because your brain desperately needs it to elevate serotonin levels. Which brings us to part 2, understanding the sunshine hormone. So here is the truly wild part. Despite its super famous name, vitamin D is not actually a vitamin at all. It's a powerful hormone. Your body produces it right in your kidneys, and it interacts with receptors in almost all the tissues and cells across your entire body. That is exactly why a deficiency triggers such a massive chain reaction, messing with absolutely everything from your muscles to your mood. Looking at the actual chemistry of the two forms of this hormone, we have vitamin D2 and vitamin D3. Your body takes these raw materials, whether you absorb them through your diet or synthesize them in your skin, and sends them on a journey through your liver and then your kidneys. Ultimately, they get converted into the biologically active hormone that your cells are literally begging for. To simplify the science just a bit, look at how totally different these sources are. Vitamin D2 is derived from things like irradiated yeast and sun-exposed mushrooms. Vitamin D3, on the flip side, is what your skin synthesizes from sunlight, or what you can get from eating fatty fish like salmon or egg yolks. And this highlights a huge problem for us. Very few foods naturally contain the D3 that your skin makes. And that perfectly sets up part 3, the causes of deficiency. If our bodies aren't literally designed to make this stuff, why on earth is there a deficiency epidemic? Well, the answer lies in our modern environment. While sunscreens absolutely do a great job protecting our skin, applying an SPF of just 30 reduces your skin's vitamin D synthesis by over 95%. Combine that with the fact that we mostly live indoors now and we're simply not getting enough sun. Plus, if you have naturally dark skin pigmentation, you actually need 3 to 5 times longer in the sun to produce the same amount of vitamin D. You add in rising rates of obesity, which basically traps this fat-soluble hormone and decreases its bioavailability, along with certain medications like anticonvulsants, and you've got a perfect storm for widespread deficiency. All right, let's move to part 4, getting the right test. Now that we know the massive scope of this problem, how exactly do we test for it when we go to the doctor? Well, just asking for a general vitamin D test isn't always going to cut it. The Endocrine Society explicitly warns that your doctor needs to order the 25-hydroxy test. Think of this test as a super stable fuel tank gauge with a reliable half-life of 2 to 3 weeks. You absolutely must avoid the other test, the 125-hydroxy test. That one fluctuates so wildly, with a half-life of just 4 hours, that it can make your levels look completely normal or even elevated when you were actually severely deficient. You really want to remember this specific number right here, 20 nanograms per milliliter. The clinical guidelines clearly define severe vitamin D deficiency as having a blood level that falls below this 20 ng/ml threshold. If your test comes back below this number, you are officially running on empty, and your bone health is at immediate risk. And the hard medical data shows us exactly why hitting that number matters so much. Pushing your vitamin D levels safely above 30 nanograms per milliliter massively protects your bones. In fact, for adults over 65, proper supplementation can drop the rate of falls by up to 72%. That is absolutely vital for reducing the risk of devastating bone fractures. Finally, let's look at part 5, prevention and treatment guidelines. So what's the daily requirement to actually fix this? Based on the clinical guidelines, infants need up to 1,000 international units, or IUs, while adults over 19 should aim for 1,500 to 2,000 IUs daily, just to maintain healthy blood levels consistently above that safe 30 ng per ml mark we talked about. But, and this is absolutely crucial to note, standard dosages do not apply to everyone. Because vitamin D is fat soluble, obese individuals require much higher doses because the hormone gets stored away in fat tissue rather than circulating freely in the blood. Similarly, folks on specific medications like anticonvulsants, antifungals, or AIDS medications process the hormone differently. These individuals actually need to take 2 to 3 times more vitamin D, sometimes pushing up to 6,000 to 10,000 IUs daily, just to achieve the exact same healthy blood levels as everyone else. Now, if your test comes back showing you are already clinically deficient, doctors don't just hand you a daily multivitamin and send you on your way. They follow a very rigorous, aggressive, step-by-step protocol. Step 1, a massive 50,000 IU dose of vitamin D2 or D3 taken once a week for 8 solid weeks to aggressively refill your body's depleted reserves. Only after that tank is totally full do they move to step 2, which is your standard maintenance dose of 1,500 to 2,000 IUs daily. Okay, before you rush out to get tested, take a look at this quote. The overarching medical consensus from the Endocrine Society is very clear. They do not recommend blind, population wide screening. However, if you're exhibiting those unexpected symptoms we discussed earlier, or if you have risk factors like an indoor lifestyle, certain medications, or obesity, you absolutely need targeted clinical screening. So I'm going to leave you with this question to ponder. Have you checked your sunshine levels lately? Given how brilliantly this hidden deficiency masks itself as everyday fatigue, persistent aches, or even just a string of bad moods, maybe it's time to ask your doctor if your body's vital sunshine hormone is running on empty. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. And remember to keep asking the right questions about your health.